So today we're going to be showcasing the SRS. You know, a lot of the marksman rifles got a buff in Title Update 20, but the reason why I really wanted to put a build around this marksman rifle, especially one that could use determine, is because you reload all your bullets at once. So what I mean by that is it works just like an assault rifle. You know, assault rifles, when you're done with a magazine, you reload it and then you have a full 60 or 50 rounds. The same thing goes with this one. When we reload, I think we get 12 or 13. We get 13, sorry. We get 13 rounds every time. So it's not like the M700 where you reload one by one, but it also still has the damage to one-shot these enemies. As you're seeing, we're hitting 23 million, 24, 25 million. And that's why I honestly like this a lot. So if you're a solo player, or even if you like running duels, this could be something amazing for you. Remember, Memento Backpack is such a really good backpack, but it's really built about building those stacks, picking those up. And if you're in groups, sometimes that doesn't work that well. But solo, it works amazing. So if you're a solo player, maybe even running in duels, you could run this build and still do this, and your teammates can be like, wow, what is this guy using? Because he's just one-shotting everything left and right. And I was unsure if I was gonna like this sniper, especially on this type of build, because it is a build that I have to be a little bit closer to really take full advantage, but it actually works really good, and I was having a ton of fun running it. Now, you guys might have seen it in the past. I've ran it with something like the 1886, even ran it with my Desert Eagle, the Regulus. It's typically what you see on those builds. But what I was able to pull off with this weapon is almost what I was pulling off with those weapons, except I had more rounds to shoot downrange, and it was very fast, right? And that's what I wanted. I wanted a sniper rifle that could still put out, because if you compare this to something, and I'll show you in a second, like the 1886, the damage is about 100 to 200K difference. So that could be a huge difference in dropping enemies once you start building all the stacks, right? Once you start building the talents, once you start stacking the talents, if you have Headhunter going off, if you have the Memento stacks going off, if you have a full stack, if you don't have a full stack, you know, a lot could be changed here. But as you guys are seeing, once Hunter's Fury, right, as you guys see the song goes off and the enemies are within those 15 meters, I'm putting out some crazy numbers, which is amazing for something like this. So if you guys want to see the exact build that I am running, well, I'm going to be showing you guys a quick breakdown of that build right here. Now, you're seeing the numbers, what we hit 25 million, 26 million, so 25 to 26 million, right? With Hunter's Fury proc. It's just a really good build to run. And you wouldn't think so, because Hotshot is known as the king of sniper builds. And hey, I'll tell you, it is the king of sniper builds, but it's not the only build you can run with snipers. So just don't think that. There's a lot of different ways you guys can run it. And this is another option for you guys to play, depending on what you guys want to do with your builds, how you guys want to play it. And you might even be able to add an extra blue on this build if you feel that you're just hitting way too hard and you can save some of that extra damage. Now, that is a possibility. So what we're going to do here, guys, is I am going to finish off with a little bit of gameplay, just so you can see, ooh, working them. And let's get into build, because I know you guys want to see it. So a lot of you guys might be wondering, yo, what skills, what builds was that? Well, you guys might really have seen this build before. I've actually posted this build in the past, and all I did was find a better weapon that I enjoyed running with it. Let me show you guys what weapon that is, and I'll explain why I went off the 1886. So the weapon is the SRS, and you can use the other version. I think they have the Kovar SRS, but the reason why I went with this one is because it has a magazine that allows you to add 5 extra rounds. That's putting me at 12 in the magazine. At full stacks, I'm at 1.2 million, I believe. Not at full stacks, I'm at 1 million. And full stacks, that means that's with the Memento backpack. We have marksman rifle damage, headshot damage, and damage to armor. I would like to find one with damage targets out of cover, but the point of this video was to really show you how powerful this build could be with this type of weapon. Previously, you guys might have seen it with something like this, the 1886. And if we compare the two, I'll show you real quick. You can see the damage difference in the two, right? And this one does have the damage targets out of cover, and they both have the talent determine. After killing an enemy with the headshot, your next headshot landed. The cool thing about this SRS also is I'm able to add accuracy on the long barrel, the underbarrel, and accuracy on the scope. You can put stability if you want, but I think accuracy really works well with this. I have a 3% headshot damage, and then we have 5-round magazine. On the other one, I have a 20% reload speed, but the reload time on this one is still faster because I can reload all of them at once, right? All 12 at once. Like I just reload, boom, I have 12 more, boom, 12 more, boom, 12 more. And that's why I really like this over the 1886. Both really good weapons. This one just hits a little bit harder, and it's really fun to use. So for the build, well, first off, I would like to maximize the headshot damage and then change the damage to armor to damage shots out of cover for any of you guys wondering. Now for the secondary, I am running the Scorpio. You saw I never really used it. It's just that safety net. Maybe some rogue agents pop up. I have to kill them. But yeah, that's pretty much it right there. So I am running a Hunter's Fury. Yes, Hunter's Fury with headshot damage on everything. You've probably seen this build with pistol builds. You've seen it with rifle builds. And yes, it works with marksman rifles. Now, hotshot is an amazing build if you want to stay back and just like sit around. This way, I'm able to really push the pace. And with that 20% armor on kill on this, it really allows me to do that. I'm also getting 50% health on kill. Now, Apex Predator is why it is better, right? Because enemies within 15 meters receive a debuff, amplifying your weapon damage against them by 20%. Now, killing a debuff enemy with your weapon disorients other enemies within it and amplifies weapon damage. So that's where I'm getting a lot of my damage, right? Besides just being a one-shot headshot build. We have weapon damage, headshot damage on everything, and that's what you're going to see on all of the pieces, weapon damage and headshot damage. We are not going away from anything here, but yeah, so that's how I'm running this one. Then we also have the chain killer, so we have weapon damage, headshot damage, critical chance, headshot damage, and then perfect headhunter. After killing an enemy with the headshot, your next weapon hit within 30 seconds deals additional 150% of that killing blow's damage. Damage is capped at 800% of the weapon's damage. This is raised to 1,250%. So that's why this actually works really well. And then we have the Memento Backpack, weapon damage, armor, skill tier, headshot damage. So overall, this is how I am running this build. It's probably something you've seen before with the 1886. Now, some of you guys might say, what about the Hotshot? Hotshot is an amazing build. It's still one of my favorite, and I actually run one with the Memento too, and you can run both however you want. I will tell you the only difference is having that armor on kill allows you to not have to waste as much medkits and sometimes being able to survive. Now, if I want to get more than 20% armor on kill on this build, what I could do is I could switch out I could switch out the sharpshooter specialization, and then I could also just go for the gunner class, and that would give me another 10%. So that's 30% armor on kill that I would get on this build, and that's a lot of survivability. So yeah, you can run this a lot of different ways. It's really up to you. This is just a different way to run something fun, have fun with it. I do run the Reviver Hive in case I go down, Tactician Drone, and then let's go over and look at the stats of the weapon real quick. So if you look at the stats, 16% crit chance, 45% crit damage, 208% headshot damage, 6% armor damage. I would like to get that 10% damage sharks out of cover instead. And we sit at 1 million. And then remember I told you we're like at 1.2 when we have the full 30 stack from the backpack because it's giving us 30% weapon damage, right? So overall, this is the build right here. I think a lot of you guys will enjoy it. If you guys have any questions, if you guys want to see the hotshot build, I'll put a link to it in the description and you can see the other way I run it. But just another fun way to run a sniper build in the Division 2. All right, guys, I'll see you guys around A. NothingButSkillz out.